Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering you've lost everything. No audience, no clients, no business, no followers, no website, no email list, nothing. Just a laptop, an internet connection, and maybe enough money left for a few cups of coffee. What would you do? Most people would start looking for the fastest way to make money online. Dropshipping, affiliate marketing, YouTube automation. Maybe they'd start posting motivational quotes on LinkedIn and call themselves entrepreneurs. I wouldn't do any of that. Instead, I'd build a simple AI service business. Not because it's trendy, not because AI is magic, but because it's one of the few businesses where you can start with almost nothing and create value immediately. And if I had to start from zero in 2026, here's the exact blueprint I'd follow. Day 1. Find a boring problem. Most beginners make the same mistake. They start by looking for the perfect AI tool: ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, and 20 others that will probably be replaced by 20 newer tools next year. That's backwards. Businesses don't buy tools, they buy solutions. So on day 1, I wouldn't search for AI opportunities. I'd search for business problems. For example, a local dentist. Many dental clinics still spend hours every week manually confirming appointments. A missed appointment can cost real money. The problem isn't exciting, which is exactly why it's valuable. Nobody dreams of becoming the king of appointment reminders, but businesses pay for boring solutions every single day. Week 1. Learn one thing. Really WLMT0 at this stage. I wouldn't learn 10 AI tools. I'd learn one workflow. Let's stick with a dental example. The goal: patient books appointment. Patient receives reminder automatically. Patient confirms. Receptionist saves time. Simple. For this, I probably use N8N. Not because it's the most popular tool, because it's free to start and incredibly flexible. Many beginners immediately jump into expensive software. That's a mistake. When you're starting with zero, flexibility matters more than fancy features. I would spend a weekend learning enough to build one working automation, not mastering it, just building something functional. That's an important distinction. Week 2. Build a demo. Here's where most people get stuck. They keep learning, and learning, and learning. 6 months later, they're still watching tutorials. Meanwhile, someone else built a simple solution and got paid. So during week 2, I'd build a demo. Not for a client, for myself. The entire setup would probably take around 4 or 5 hours. Patient form, appointment database, automated reminder, confirmation message. Done. Nothing revolutionary, just something that works. And that's when something interesting happens. You stop feeling like a beginner, because now you have proof. Week 3. Talk to real business. This is the part most people avoid. Not because it's difficult, because it's uncomfortable. The businesses don't care how many tutorials you've watched. They care whether you can solve a problem. So I'd start contacting local businesses. Not hundreds. Maybe 10 per day. And I wouldn't pitch AI. I'd pitch outcomes. Instead of saying, I build AI automation systems, I'd say, I help clinics reduce missed appointments and save staff time. See the difference? One talks about technology. The other talks about results. Business owners buy results. Me first, clatter. Let's say a clinic agrees to test the system. The receptionist currently spends about 45 minutes every day confirming appointments. That's nearly 4 hours every week, over 15 hours every month. The automation takes that workload down to maybe 30 minutes per week. The clinic saves time. Patients receive reminders. Missed appointments decrease. Everybody wins. Could that be worth $300? Absolutely. Could it be worth $500? Absolutely. Could it be worth $500? Possibly. The exact number doesn't matter. What matters is that you've solved a real problem. The moment, everything changes. The first payment isn't the important part. The first case study is, because now you're no longer guessing. Now you have evidence. You can say, this clinic reduced appointment admin by 80%. That's powerful. Far more powerful than saying, I know how ChatGPT works. Businesses don't pay for knowledge. They pay for outcomes. And outcomes are easier to sell than promises. Months 2. Build a repeatable system. At this point, most freelancers continue building custom solutions forever. I wouldn't. I'd start looking for patterns. What problems appear repeatedly? What solutions work repeatedly? Can one system help multiple businesses? Now you're no longer creating random projects. You're building products disguised as services, and that's where scale begins. MONTH 3. AD Dury Tools. Once money starts coming in, I'd upgrade the stack. This is where I'd introduce tools like Perplexity. Not because it's smarter than ChatGPT, because it provides current sources and research. Useful when analyzing industries and creating client reports. Claude, because it handles larger documents and workflows exceptionally well. Notion, because clients love seeing organized dashboards. Each tool would have a purpose. Not because it's trending, because it solves a specific problem. That's how professionals think. The Billison most people think AI businesses are about AI. They're not. They're about efficiency. A restaurant owner doesn't care whether a workflow uses ChatGPT, Claude, or carrier pigeons. They care whether it saves time, whether it reduces costs, whether it increases revenue. The tool is secondary. The outcome is everything. And that's why so many AI beginners struggle. They become obsessed with technology, while successful operators become obsessed with results. If I had to start from absolute zero today, I wouldn't waste time trying to build the next billion-dollar startup. I'd build a simple AI business that solves one expensive problem for small businesses. Using tools like ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, and automation platforms, I'd help companies create content, automate repetitive work, generate leads, or improve customer support services businesses happily pay for every month. The goal isn't to sell AI, it's to sell outcomes. Once the first client is on board, the same workflow can be repeated, turning one customer into a scalable business. In the full video, I'll break down the exact blueprint I'd follow if I were starting with nothing but a laptop and an internet connection. If I had to start over tomorrow with absolutely nothing, this is the blueprint I'd follow. Not because it's the easiest, not because it's guaranteed, and definitely not because it's passive. I'd choose it because it's practical. Find a problem, build a solution, get one result. Turn that result into a case study. Repeat. That's not just an AI strategy. That's how businesses have always been built. The only difference is that AI gives us better tools than ever before. And the people who learn how to use those tools to solve real-world problems will have opportunities for years to come. Because businesses don't pay for AI. They pay for outcomes. And outcomes never go out of style.